episode of Paranormal Vlogs Growing Up Paranormal. And this is episode 6 in the series. So welcome to episode 6. And if you already watched my last episode, episode 5, I told you I was going to have a water scrying tutorial. And I will include some pictures in this episode. It's a little brighter, it's daylight, it's the first day of fall, and it's very fall-like. It's chilly outside, and the wind is blowing, there's leaves everywhere. And it was cloudy, but it figures. I sat down to do this and the sun came out. So I do have some of the doors shut, but where I'm sitting, I didn't want to shut one, so you can kind of see, which works out because I have to show you water scrying. So let's begin. So, okay, now, on this episode 6, I'm showing you how to water scry. Now, the first thing you're obviously going to need is a water scrying bowl. And this is what I use. That's right, just a regular old pot, saucepan. And I use this, but you've got to make sure that it's black inside, it's smooth, that there's no bevels or designs or ridges or scratches. You've got to make sure that it's all nice because that will affect your pictures, okay? Now, if the outside isn't black, that's not a big deal, although it would be nice. But it would be nice if, you see, if your bottom had copper. Mine doesn't, so it doesn't matter. But it's a metal pot that you've actually cooked with in the past. It has like energies, I guess, from the fire, the food you cooked. And you probably, if you're going to continue using it, has a water scrying. You probably don't want to use it anymore as a cooking so that you don't scratch it, okay? If you find what works for you. Now, typically they use soapstone for scrying bowls. I just used what I had, okay? I didn't even know when I first started this it was going to work. I did try a ceramic bowl, but ceramic, I guess, wasn't a good conductor for the spirits, and it didn't work whatsoever. Nothing. So I didn't try soapstone because I'd have to purchase that. And I'm like, I don't want to purchase that. So the first thing I ever did use is a pot. I said, well, it's black. I thought that's all you really needed. I didn't think of the aspect of being conductive. So I think that a metal pot being conductive is the key here, okay? So you want to get your metal pot that's just flat black. I wouldn't use a frying pan because it's too flat, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. You're going to fill this with water, but not to the tippy top. You're going to want to at least leave like a 2 to 3 inches above that line free of water. So just going to fill most of it, but leave at least 2 to 3 inches, okay? You may spill the water. So what you want to do is put like a towel, and black would be better. If you have a black towel or a black dish towel or some kind of black cloth to absorb the water that you're going to spill, that's good. And it's better for when you're taking the picture that it's all black around, so it comes out better. That's the reason, because it really will show the picture much better, okay? So remember that. It has to be smooth inside and it has to be black inside, because if you use another color, it may not show up as well, okay? So the other thing you want to do is you get your camera. If you don't use a camera, see, this is the camera I normally used to take videos with. I still do. But when I started with these episodes, I started using my webcam on my laptop. But that was a crappy webcam, as if you saw my other videos. So my husband was kind enough to buy me this webcam, which is a much better one. So Now, when you're doing water scrying, you're going to have to use a camera. So you can use a cell phone. You cannot have a flash on. And before, now this is very instrumental in doing this. You must protect yourself before you even attempt this. Protect yourself. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to get some white sage and also some sweet grass, not seagrass, sweet grass. So you can get a blend of white sage and sweet grass, or you can get them separately. Okay? You also want some frankincense and myrrh incense, and you also want to maybe get a copal, C-O-P-A-L incense. Okay? And you can burn them in separate rooms. You can burn, like, I'll burn the copal or the frankincense and myrrh next to me, but not where the smoke is going to go in front of me, because that'll get in the way of your pictures. I can put it behind me or somewhere. And then I'll put, like if I have frankincense next to me, I'll put the copal in the next room. Okay? So if you don't know how to use the sage and the sweetgrass blend or whatever, it's the white sage, by the way, you would smudge your house. If you're not familiar with smudging, you could Google that and it'll different ways. Now, you could do it your own way, or you can go the typical way. This is what I do. I'm going to tell you what I do when I smudge, which I'll probably do later. Before you open your windows, you can have them open anyway, but you open the closet doors, make sure you get the corners, walk around with either one of the shells that you have or in a ceramic bowl. And you can get a feather. You can do it the traditional way, or you can use your hand if you don't want to like purchase all that or have all that. Walk around from room to room. Be sure to get the corners. And when you're doing it, this is what I do. Okay? I say, I banish all evil and negative energies. I banish all evil and negative spirits, entities, and interdimensional beings from this space. I only allow in good, positive energy, good, positive spirits, good, positive entities, and good, positive interdimensional beings. So I repeat that, and I do that all over. And then I also say, I only allow, I banish all negative feelings, thoughts, emotions, and dreams as well. And I do that too. And I make sure I get the corners of my house, because the negativity likes to gather up in corners. And I like to make sure that I get around the windows and around the doorways, in my closets all the way around, in my bathroom, and I open the shower and I do that. And I basically get my laundry room, get every room in your house. Now, you don't have to do this directly before you do the water scrying. I have an apartment, so I don't have to like walk up and down stairs. I would imagine it's pretty trying, but it's good if you haven't smudged your home to at least get it, a good smudging in. That's my sound effects. So get a good smudging in there, okay? And once you've done all that, open your windows a little bit. If it's the winter and it's cold, you don't have to open them wide, even if you have your air conditioner on, if it's warm. You can just open them this much. But that's for the negative energies to go out, the negative spirits, and anything that's negative to go out, okay? So now that you've made a buildup of that, now you can open the windows and let it all out, okay? And open up a window in every room if you don't want to have, you don't have to open every single window. You can just open one, okay? And wait a while. You can wait like 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour, and once you're sure, and then you can close your closet doors, you know, and then you can close your windows. After about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour, depending on how long you want to leave everything open. I know I can't leave my closet doors open too much because my cats will go in there, so I close those. But the windows I leave open probably half an hour to 25 minutes, 20 minutes. And then I shut them, But if you want to leave it open, if it's a nice day, go ahead. If they're already open, that's fine. And then when that's done, while I'm burning it, I have my copal and my frankincense and myrrh incense going, and then when they burn out, I light another one, okay? And then what I do is before I start, now I get my pot, or you can, if you get a soapstone one, I get my pot, I get a cloth, I do this on my kitchen counter, I get my camera. Now, I fill it, but I leave at least 2 to 3 inches from the top so I don't have to worry about water overflowing, because you have to move it, okay? And how it works is spirits use their energy. Spirits manipulate the water molecules in order to manifest. And spirits use plasma, ectoplasma. And plasma is what's inside you, it's what's in the sun is made up of. Plasma is the key to manifesting. So plasma is, you'll see it too in their pictures, it's either in front of their mouth or like underneath them or around them. They need that, and that affects the water molecules and enables them to manifest for you. So what you're going to do is, before you start, you got your pot or soapstone scrying bowl, if you want to go all out and buy a fancy soapstone scrying bowl, and put your cloth down. It's filled with water, but not, leaving at least this much space. And you have your camera or cell phone. Just say, say a prayer. Now, depending on what, you must ask Michael Archangel to protect you, because that's what he does against evil. I don't care what your religion is, or if you don't have a religion or whatever, just ask Michael. So you ask Michael Archangel for protection against any evil or negative spirits, entities, or interdimensional beings that may harm you, that he is there to protect you. Then you ask, if whatever your religion is, if you believe in God, you ask Christ, because Christ likes to be called Creator or Christ. And I'll get to that one day. But anyway, you ask Creator, Christ, please protect me against any evil or negative spirits, any evil or negative entities, or any evil or negative interdimensional beings. Okay? And then you go to the Blessed Mother Mary or the Divine, please, and repeat the same thing. And then you can say that 2 to 3 times, and then when you're done, say, so please protect me while I'm communicating. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just thank them. And then you want to say, and you want to say this very firmly, okay? Say it with authority. And I would repeat this at least 3 times, or you can repeat it more if you're more comfortable with that. And I always repeat, I go, I do not allow or give permission to any evil or negative spirits, entities, or interdimensional beings to communicate with me in any way, shape, or form, or contact me in any way, shape, or form, or anyone in my household. And you can name, and they are not to communicate with me, my husband, or my cats, and Rudy and Sally, you're not allowed to contact any of us or anyone. Now, since I live in an apartment, I also say, for any, one in this building, in this area. And then I repeat that, and I'm firm. You're not to communicate, and you're not allowed. I do not allow or give permission to any evil or negative spirits, entities, or interdimensional beings to contact me or communicate with me in any way, shape, or form. Or my husband, or my cat's room in Salem, or the cat that stays outside, or anybody in this building. And then, you repeat that 3 times, or as many times as you feel comfortable, but say it with authority. Be firm. Don't be like, and whisper it. They're not going to take you seriously, okay? You put it to them. Tell them, hey, none of that. And I really wouldn't suggest you want negative stuff, because they'll stay. And also because you got to realize, when you're taking these pictures, they're right here with you. That's why they're able to do it. Because the dimensions, I'll get into all that, but they told me basically that all the dimensions overlap. We share the same space with all the dimensions. And so it's an overlapping thing. And they're able to see and hear us more easy because they vibrate on a different level. So basically, in order to see them more, you've got to be vibrating on the same level. Okay? And they can see and hear us better than we can see and hear them because they're on a higher vibration frequency. Okay? So what you want to do is once you've done all of that, you said your prayer of protection, you affirm and saying what you won't allow. Now you say you open up the portal of communication, which I'm not really, I'm just giving a tutorial. You have to say that before you start. And once you say that, they know now they can come to you and communicate or show. You can be recording at the same time and ask questions or whatever. But we'll get into the recordings and speaking with spirits, spirit communication at another episode, okay? So what I do is, okay, so once you do that and you opened up the portal of communication, you should have your incense burning but not where the smoke is wafting. You should have your scrying bowl or pot that's smooth inside and filled with water but leaving about this much to the top so that there's a, you know, because you have to move it. You have a towel or cloth underneath to absorb any spillage. You have your camera or cell phone. Okay. Now you can either do it this one or two ways. You can have a couple of candles or a candle burning. I would suggest white candles if you have them. And you can have that, but not where it reflects into the pot. Or you can have an overhead light, which I use, my kitchen light. But the thing is, I make sure that my kitchen light's in the middle and my counter's over here, my breakfast bar island. So I make sure it's here and the light isn't directly in it. You don't want a light source directly in it. It's too much reflection. Plus you'll reflect your light source itself, your lamp or, you know, your sconce fixture. You also just want the ceiling reflecting in here, not anything you might have hanging. If you have any little lanterns or anything hanging, look at it and make sure that it's clear and free of reflection, okay? So with that, you're going to get a pen and paper too, because say you have somebody specific that you want to take a picture for you. What I usually do is I ask for my cat Butterball, and I'll put pictures of them in here. So I do is I ask for Butterball if you wouldn't mind taking some pictures for me, and I'll tell him when I'm going to begin. And so like the first 4 might be of him. So I'm like, I'm going to take a couple of pictures, and what I'll do is I'll lightly shake the water. I don't go like this. Just give it a bit of a shake. You don't have to pick up the bowl. The bowl could be down on your counter. And then just like shake it so there's movement. You know, you don't have to go violently, just enough that it's moving, okay? You're creating energy for them. So now the water's moving and you're like, so while it's moving you ask for, let's say I'm asking for Butterball, please take a picture. Remember, the flash cannot be on. Okay, so now the water's moving. Now don't go directly over it or you're going to get a picture of your camera and your hand. And don't go like this and hold your over, or you can get a picture of your own face. Kind of stand back and say, here's the camera, and now you're moving, the bowl should be on the counter, don't hold it. And then just say, okay, Butterball, take a picture of me, or your aunt, or your mother, or your father, and then just go take a picture. All right, and the water's still moving, you can take another picture. And then say, okay, I'm going to take 2 more. Please take a picture for me. I'm going again. And then you can move the pot and then click while the water's still moving. So now you want to take a pad and a pen, and maybe somebody else is sitting next to you. The reason why I say do this, because I learned from trial and error, you're not going to always remember who you asked to take the picture with. So if somebody's with you, they can write it down. Remember to be quiet and don't like giggle and all this laughing stuff going on. Not that you can't have fun, but this is serious and you should be respectful too. Always say, can you please, I hope you don't mind. Before you start, you should say, I'm going to start taking some pictures, and I ask that anyone I ask for, some spirits and entities and other interdimensional beings, if you wouldn't mind taking a picture for me, I would appreciate it. I may show this to other people. Be respectful because they should know. You know what I mean? And don't be like, hey, take a picture for me, idiot, you know? I mean, you're being disrespectful. And remember, you can't fear. If you have any fear of this, then don't do it. This isn't fun and games. It may seem like fun, but they're right here with you. So basically, you're asking them to take a picture, and guess what? They're right next to you going, cheese, you know? They're taking it. So they're right there. And if you can't handle that thought of a spirit or an entity or an interdimensional being sharing the area with you, being right next to you, probably even touching you, then forget it. As we say in New York, forget about it. Don't do it. If you have any fear or doubt, do not do it. Okay? And chances are, if you're fearful, they will even come. The good ones, anyway. The good ones care. They don't want you to fear. And fear is a lower vibration. Fear is a program of the matrix, so they're not going to come because that means you just vibrate even lower, okay, and probably couldn't connect with them. So if you don't fear, just make it like an everyday, I'm going to take a picture of you if you don't mind. Now you're going to write these because, let's say, right after you did that, say the first 4 pictures are, I asked my cat and Butterball, you know, because then you may have another cat, you know, and then you'll write that down. And then the next 6 pictures I asked my mother, and the next 4 pictures I asked my father. And then you might go, and what I usually do is then I go, if there's any spirits that would like their picture taken, please take their picture for me. And I do it again. Remember, no flash. This will be on the counter, so you're not going to shake it like this. Keep it on the counter or table. And then just give it a little shake of water, and you don't have to hold it. You know, it'll be on the counter still, and just go shake some water. And then when the water's moving, not like violently, but as long as the water's moving, say, okay, I'm going to take a picture. Any spirits, click, click. And remember, not directly over here, okay? And your light source should be kind of behind you, not right above. So if you have candles, you can keep them off to a distance. It has to be some kind of a light source, okay? So some kind of a light source, whether you have some candles or a candle or a light up above. I use my kitchen light up above, and I have, like, say my kitchen light is right here, and then I have my counter right here. So there's a light source, but it's not directly in there. And then that's the only light source I have. And you can, by the way, you can do this whether it's morning, middle of the day, or night, whether it's a beautiful sunshiny day, or it doesn't have to be the witching hour. Because I do most of my spirit communication and my water scrying in the middle of the day with a beautiful sunshiny day with the sun beaming in. So it doesn't matter. Whenever you want to do it, you do it. Now you can put crystals around the pot if you want, or your scrying bowl, you know, like amethyst or quartz crystal or other spirit communicating crystals. You could put them around, or whatever you want, okay, to help you. Get yourself in a good vibe before you do it, and remember to do that, and write down, so that, you know, the first 4 pictures I took of my cat so-and-so, the next 5 pictures I took of my dog Fido, the next 6 I took of my other cat so-and-so, the next 4 of my mother, the next 6 of my father, the next 4, then, you know, you might ask some spirits, random spirits, any spirits wanting to, and then just say the next 8 pictures of random spirits. Then you can, and you don't want to overdo it your first time doing it. Take so many pictures I'd say take about 10, 15 pictures. And then you want to go, are there any entities that would like, any good positive spirits, I always say, any good positive entities to remind them of your rule of no evil or negative. Then go, are there any good positive interdimensional beings that will like to take a picture for you, and make sure you write that down after you're done. And they're not going to look like you. Then interdimensional beings look different, okay? They're not demons unless you ask for the bad ones. Because after all, what are angels and demons? They're interdimensional beings, okay? So once you're done, clean up your stuff, dry up your water, you know, put everything away, and upload them into your computer. I wouldn't say look in your phone. I'm not a phone person. I have an old cell phone. I don't really like phones. View them on a computer. Laptop, desktop, I don't care. Just view them on a computer. Now here's the thing. You may not notice them right off the bat. Some you'll notice, and some you won't. You'll have to like keep looking. I find that sometimes I wait like a couple of weeks or even a month later. I'm like, I didn't see that. It's right in front of me. I don't know why that is. It just is. Kind of like when I'm spirit communicating, I may not directly hear them, but later I'll go listen to the recording and I can hear them perfectly. It's just the way it is. So some you'll unmistakable, okay? And I'm going to show you what you can do for that. And so if you get some pictures, they're not all going to be right the way you had your pots. You might have to rotate your picture. I'd have to do that. And you'll see in some of the pictures that I insert in here that some of them I had to rotate. Also, to enhance them, but not to do a phony baloney editing crap thing. To take your real life pictures of your real life spirits or real dead spirits, whatever, and entities and interdimensional beings, you're going to want to enhance it so you can see it better. So you might have to, I use iPixy. If you don't know, it's IPPCY, okay? I use a Pixie to, some of them, some don't need it. Now, I always keep my originals, okay? Always keep your originals. And then I always show my originals so I could prove to you this is what they're going to look like. Now, some of them need a little definition. So what you do is you see if you have to rotate it around while you're looking at the original. And then when you do, you can save each one. You may see a spirit here, because sometimes you make three of them sharing a space inside your bowl or pot. So in one of my pictures, you'll see there's like a mother, a father, and a baby, it looks like. So they all shove their faces inside there. You know, you might get more than one overlapping. So that will happen. I need a drink. Hold on. This is good. I really like this. The frost, not the one that says ice. That's too sweet. This one's really good. The grapefruit's my favorite. But it has to be ice cold. Okay, so getting back to that. This thing keeps moving. All right, so what you want to do now is put in an iPixie, and then they have different things to the left of it once you upload your picture. Of course, you have to register, sign in, and you got it. So you go where it says sharpen and clarity. I just put the sharpen up a little bit, but I move the clarity a little more. And that tends to really make that picture pop. You know, you're like, just play with it. You know, don't go too much or add too much noise and staticiness, you know, like, you know, when you see TV all static with little round stuff. So get it to where it's really clarifying. Now you may just need to do that, or you may need more. So then they have filters. You can play with the hue and the contrast. Sometimes a little darker makes them stand out more. Sometimes a little lighter. So just play with that. Or they have different filters. You can play with that, whatever. And I keep each version from the original I keep, and then all the versions that I played with you know, and I keep them all. And I name version 2, 3, 4. They're the same picture. All you're doing is making them like clearer for one to see if you want to post it. Okay? That's all. And I would save them to a folder on your computer, but as well as get a USB stick and save them on that for future, because anything happens to your computer, all that is gone. So it's good to keep them on a stick, make a folder for water scrying pictures, and then name each one. This is my cat, this is my mother, this is my father, this is the original one of my cat. Bam. So you know that that's the original. This one I enhanced a little bit, or I, you know, made it sharper. Not enhanced as in messing with it to change it. It's just bringing it out more so you can see it better. That's all. Because some of them are really prominent where you don't have to do anything, and some of them just need a little tweaking, like of sharpening of the picture for you to get rid of some of the noise in the picture for you to see it better. Okay? So just keep that in your mind. And then what you're going to do is once you get all them, you just look through them. You just keep examining them, because later on you may see something that you didn't notice. Keep those. Keep those pictures and go back to them in a week. You may say, oh, wow, because you might get one where you're like, I don't see nothing. This is a dud. You know, you don't see anything. But you'll be looking at it, rotate it, look at it, rotate it, look at it, you know, and you may all of a sudden say, oh, there it is, there's an eye, there's an eye with an eyebrow, there's a nose, there's a mouth, you know. It'll start to take shape. You may not see anything for a couple of weeks or a month, then go back and look at it again. And I know what you're going to say, well, your brain will tell your eyes that everything is a face, and then you'll start, no. Okay, and you'll see with my pictures. If you don't believe it, there's nothing I can do. But it's very real. There are real pictures of them, and you're going to see, and some of them come in super clear where I didn't have to, you know, put them in clarity and sharpen. But that's what I do. And I don't do it every day. Don't do it every day. Don't overdo it, because they're going to get sick and tired of you axing. Because imagine you're on the other side just chilling, and someone's bugging you every minute to take a picture or to talk to you. It does get annoying, because you do keep your personality when you go to the other side. The other side is really the other dimension, and there's millions of dimensions, and not everybody goes to the same one. It is, you make your own, basically. So, and I'll get into that another time. But the interdimensional beings will also take pictures for you, and sometimes they look a little odd. I know one that looks a little like E.T. His eyes like over here. He has that nose and that kind of wrinkly skin, and he looks like E.T. But you know, they're the good positive ones. So make sure, like I say, you do your smudging, get your incense, you do your prayer of protection, you do your affirm, I do not allow. Make sure you open the portal of communication. And when you're done, please don't forget to close the portal of communication. So once you're done taking all those pictures and you're completely done, say, thank you for coming. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for taking a picture for me. I appreciate it. Even before you upload them, just say it. And say, I appreciate you taking the time to do this for me, and I hope you don't mind that I may show them or post them online. They already know that because you've already asked, but it's okay to say it again. I say, I thank you very much. I may do this again soon. And say goodbye, and then say, I close the portal of communication. And you know, just say you cannot stay any spirits, entities, or interdimensional beings that came to take a picture for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. But you cannot stay now. It's time for you to go back to your dimensions. And thank you again. And I close the portal of communications. Okay? And that's all you have to do. But make sure you do it. Because if you leave it open, then after a while, hey, you see this negative entity coming by, this negative spirit, they're going to be like, ooh, the portal's open. Then you're going to be sleeping, someone's going to go, you know, or they're hanging around, and you may not know it, because you may not see it, or they may be quiet for a while, and things go missing and moving around, and strange sounds at night. So close the portal. Okay? So that's all you have to do. And like I say, keep your pictures on a USB port, and also on, you know, in a folder in your computer, and keep going back and looking at them. What you don't see first, you may see later. And if you only see one, well, guess what? Some of them come so clear, just like a photograph. And you're going to see them in here, and no, it's not me. They're not fake. They're actual, real. I have no reason to lie to you. I don't get paid for this. I'm not getting any gain from lying, okay? I don't get anything. I am telling you the 100% honest to Christ truth. So you can either believe me or don't believe me. Either way, I don't care. I'm just trying to share the knowledge, okay? So I don't want no dispute, oh, you're full of it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you know, because I approve the comments. So they're never going to see the light of day if they're negative comments. I don't deal with trolls, okay? Also best if you do this when the house is calm and still. Now you can have people and pets still in the house. Like I have my husband usually here. Where is he going to go? I'm not going to let him sit outside while I'm doing this. But he's quiet. He's sitting on the computer with his little earbuds in his ears. So, you know, he's doing his thing. I usually have something on the TV like a relaxing water stream, or, you know, something like a beach, ocean wave, something relaxing. My cat's usually napping. So, you know, the house is usually calm and still, okay? And I can't be aggravated, because I find when I'm all aggravated and the kitchen's busy, you know, my husband's coming in, my cat's coming in, and there's all kind of noises and I'm aggravated. I don't get as many. I may get 2 or 3, but I might not get as many because I'm too aggravated. I'm vibrating negatively on a lower vibration, and it's just not going to be pleasing. So do it, you know, like I said, you could do it in the middle of the day, but make sure the house is calm and relatively still. And it doesn't have to be empty, it just has to be peaceful. Okay, you could do this in your kitchen, in your room, in your bathroom, but don't do it with the toilet bowl. Remember, you can use a pot. I think it's the metal is a good conductor, and I find that you could put your crystals around. Gold and copper are good too, but you don't want to use it as a pot because you want your pictures to come out. And you'll see by me showing my pictures in this video, okay? You'll see what I mean. So I hope you enjoyed this water scrying tutorial. This was episode 6, and please stay tuned for episode 7. I'm not going to get to that today. I did 2 episodes today, so we're in the safe shirt. Typically, every time I do this, I do 2 episodes. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode 6 of my paranormal blogs, Growing Up Paranormal. And this was a little different. This was in story time. This is more or less a water scrying tutorial. So please follow the rules, be respectful, close the porthole before you do that. Whoops. What happened here? Okay. Remember to open the portal and then close the portal. Don't leave it wide open. Remember to thank them and be respectful. And remember, if you don't see it in the beginning, keep checking back and looking at your pictures. You just might have missed it the first 5 times you looked at it, okay? Sometimes I notice something after a month. So keep watching, because I'm going to put some pictures in here, and then I will see you. I'll do a voiceover with some pictures, and I'll see you on episode 7. I don't know what I'm going to discuss yet. So I think it's my premonitions and knowings. So I will see you then. Bye.
Okay, here's a picture of a man, and I believe it's my father. I asked him to appear. Here you can see it more clearly. I've outlined it for you and made the picture lighter. Here is here's a picture of an interdimensional being. As you can see, he or she came out pretty clear. Here's a picture of my cat Butterball. He's just forming, so you see his eyes, nose, and mouth. I've outlined it for you. Here's a picture of a face kind of looking to the side, stretched out neck. And here I outlined it for you. And I put the eyes and stuff. Here's a picture of my cat Butterball. You can see him laying down with his head, and there I circled it. His head is where the arrow's pointing. Here's a picture of a girl's face smiling and waving with her hand. And just in case you couldn't see it good enough, I've done the outline. And here's a picture of an interdimensional being. There, in case you weren't able, I outlined it for you. Here is a picture of a girl. She sort of has ectoplasm below her. Here I outlined it so you can see it better, and I darkened it. Here it is bigger so you can really notice it, and darker. Do you see the face? Here is a picture of somebody with glasses up to the top. Here's a picture of Michael Archangel with the music note in front of him. This is a picture of my cat Butterball. As you can see him peeking over, and this is Butterball again. Here is an original of a mother and a father. There's the father's face with glasses, the baby's face, and the mother's face. Here is the picture of my cat Butterball, and here is a picture of my cat Spunky. You could see his tail. And here is a picture of a face that I got forming, and this is the lion's face. Here's a picture of a man. You can see he has a beard and deep-set eyes. This was like of a skull face. It was forming. It didn't completely form. Thanks for watching.